Good evening, everyone. Good evening. We would like to start the program, so if everybody could take their seats and quiet down. I know it's very exciting to see old friends and new, but we would like to get started just about on time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Offerings take many forms. Here, for Rabbi Schwartz, Rabbi Aliza, is an offering of song. We are gifts, we are blessings, we are history in song. We are hope, we are healing, we are learning to be strong. We are words, we are stories, we are pictures of we are carriers of wisdom, not the first and not the last. Vador, sing with me. Vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Vador, these lips will praise your name. Looking back on the journey that we carry in our hearts, from the shadow of the mountain to the waters that would part. We are blessed and we are holy, our children of your way, and the words that bring us meaning we will have the strength to say. Vador, we protect this chain from generation to generation. Vador, these lips will praise your name.
We will draw water in celebration from the wellspring of liberation. We will draw water in celebration from the wellspring of liberation. Ma'im Chaim. Join us. Ma'im Chaim. Ma'im Chaim. Ma'im Chaim. We will draw water in celebration from the wellspring of liberation. We will draw water in celebration from the wellspring of liberation. We will draw water in celebration from the wellspring of liberation. We will draw water in celebration from the wellspring of liberation. Ma'im Chaim. Ma'im Chaim. Ma'im Chaim. Ma'im Chaim.
Good evening, everyone. We'd like to begin by introducing ourselves. I'm Laurie Rotman, and this is Mark Wilen. And the two of us together are co-presidents of this wonderful congregation, and we are honored to welcome you tonight. First, let's offer thanks to the HBT band and to the singers who have given us such a beautiful opening. What a perfect way to start our celebration. Okay, so welcome. It is truly wonderful to see so many of you here tonight for this major milestone in the life of Temple Hillel B'nai Torah. We especially want to welcome some of our special guests, Rabbi Aliza's family, her mother, Randy, father, Bill, brother, Jonathan, and her childhood rabbi, Rabbi Garden Schwartz. And teachers of the Children's House Montessori School for the beautiful flowers outside. We gather tonight as proud representatives of this vibrant congregation to mark a joyful and meaningful moment, welcoming Rabbi Aliza as she is formally installed as our rabbi. We know that this is a time of challenge for the Jewish community and for our country as a whole, and that's why moments like these matter so deeply. Tonight, we come together not only to recognize a new chapter in our congregation's story, but to reaffirm our pride in our shul, our rabbi, and our shared heritage. We chose the phrase "V'samachta," and you shall rejoice, as our theme for this evening, creating time for joy. This simcha, or joyous celebration, occurs on the Jewish holiday of Lag BaOmer, when we are invited to pause during a season of solemnity as we count the Omer every night between Passover and Shavuot. And instead, we are here to celebrate. And celebrate we shall, not only Rabbi Aliza's installation, but also the 55-year legacy of Temple HBT.
Thank you, Laurie. In tonight's program, we will celebrate our history, that is both Temple Hillel B'nai Torah's communal legacy and also Rabbi Aliza's personal history. We will embrace the blessings of our present, and we will commit to a meaningful shared future together. Guided by our HBT values, chabura, community, avodah, worship, Torah, learning, and tikkun olam, social action. As co-presidents, Laurie and I represent over 60 years of HBT's rich history. Please note, this is the cumulative historical sum between the two of us. And now, during the present year, we've shared the special privilege and profound satisfaction of helping Rabbi Aliza integrate into our community. Truth be told, Rabbi Aliza made our job so easy. With her warm compassion, courageous spirit, soulful wisdom, and with her deeply spiritual musicality, Rabbi Aliza has so quickly become an integral element, holding our entire chavurah together and extending our shul family to include the greater Boston Jewish community. Over the next hour, we will hear from our shul family, community members representing our past, present, and future. And we are so honored to welcome many special guests, including Rabbi Aliza's rabbinical teachers and I think it was over 1 million of rabbis from near and far, who will ceremonially install Rabbi Aliza to her new role in our community. Rabbi Aliza herself will share an offering with us as she helps carry us from our present into our future. We will end the evening with a joyous celebration. You must believe me when I tell you, we didn't call this event V'samachta for nothing. Please join us downstairs in the social hall after this ceremony for the party, including food and drink, music and dancing. There will be history on display and a wonderful DJ to help lift our spirits. An evening like this doesn't happen without a big communal effort. We extend our sincere gratitude to the inspired installation team. You truly went above, you truly went above and beyond, and we hope all our guests tonight enjoy the fruits of your labor. We also thank our very dedicated volunteers and the virtuoso musicians who perform in the HBT band, and our extraordinarily devoted staff. Your efforts have made this night extra special. Alas, there are too many individuals to thank by name, but you can find them all listed in the tribute book. So this book truly is a tribute to Rabbi Aliza, with so many heartfelt messages to welcome and honor her. We also recognize the tremendous generosity of all the donors in the tribute book, many of whom I see here tonight. We thank you for contributing to HBT's future sustainability. You will also find messages from business sponsors who help make tonight's program possible. You definitely want to save their numbers if you happen to be planning a bar mitzvah or other simcha, just saying. Last, but certainly not least, we thank all our members and our guests, celebrating together with over 350 people joining us both here in person and from all over on Zoom. Wow. Your showing up tonight makes this remarkable celebration truly memorable. It's a blessing. We're thrilled that all of you have joined us this Lag BaOmer night to celebrate our history, to embrace the blessings of our present, and to commit to our future together. But before we leap into our future together, we invite you for a short trip down memory lane with a glance back to our past. For 55 years, this community has been built by those who contributed their time, their talents, and their vision, shaping Temple Hillel B'nai Torah into the progressive, reconstructionist, inclusive, Hamish Jewish home in Westy it is today. Now we will share 5 short reflections, milestones that brought us this moment. We begin by inviting Jeremy Ronkin for milestone 1.
Good evening. Can you hear me? Good evening? Good evening. How's that? I was completely tickled to be asked to speak tonight. It's rare for me to speak. I'm usually over, with the band. I'm a musician, and let's begin with this synagogue and the history of my family in the synagogue. Temple Hillel B'nai Torah has been a part of my family for generations. My parents, Alan and Sheila Ronkin, are longtime members. Both sets of my grandparents were members, as well as at least a dozen other members of my family. And in fact, my grandfather was the congregation's first president. I'm so honored to share this moment in the synagogue's history in the installation of our dear friend and our next door neighbor, Rabbi Aliza Schwartz, who, by the way, spent more than one night at our kitchen table discussing with my wife, Rabbi Margie Klein, about becoming a rabbi. So we know her. In 1953, the Parkway Jewish community was formally established. Just 1 year later, the congregation purchased this very space we're in tonight, 120 Corey Street. Meanwhile, in Mattapan, Temple Beth Hillel flourished with a Hebrew school that served as many as 600 students at its peak. Both congregations were traditional conservative schools with a strong commitment to Jewish practice and communal life. By the late 1960s, however, Boston's Jewish neighborhoods were changing. As families left Mattapan, Temple Beth Hillel could no longer stand alone. Out of both necessity and a little bit of hope, the two congregations came together. In 1970, Temple Beth Torah and Temple Beth Hillel merged, forming Temple Hillel B'nai Torah. Rabbi Oscar Buxban marked the moment by carrying the Torah, our Eitz Chaim, through the streets of West Roxbury, a visible act of continuity, joining two histories into one future. That same year, my grandfather, Milton Saltman, became the first president of this newly formed synagogue, Temple Hillel B'nai Torah, and a new chapter began. That chapter would be tested and transformed in the decades that followed. So here, I am now going to pass the microphone to Lenny Markowitz, former president.
Thank you, Jeremy. So I said, I am Lenny Markowitz, and I was president of Temple Hillel B'nai Torah from 1993 to 1995, just about 30 years ago. But the story that I'm about to tell really starts earlier than that. In the 70s, going into the 80s, Temple HBT, or Hillel B'nai Torah, was active with brotherhood and sisterhood events, a strong minyanim and services, and deep community ties. But even with all that energy, the future wasn't certain. Once again, demographic shifts meant fewer young families were joining and fewer young families were staying. So the next chapter of Jewish life here wasn't guaranteed at all. But in 1984, Brotherhood President Harold Gordon invited the West Roxbury Chavurah. The West Roxbury Chavurah is a newly formed group of young families to bring their spirit into HBT. Longtime members and newcomers came together, sometimes with different visions for what the synagogue can be. Some hoped to preserve what had been, and others were eager to grow and change. But all shared one common goal: sustaining Jewish life and community at Temple Hillel B'nai Torah. Marvin Rosenkrantz, as president, helped guide that transformation, and I was honored to follow as HBT's first baby boomer president. Part of a shift that would soon open a new chapter. Well, what began as a bridge between generations became something deeper, a new way of seeing Jewish life, a new voice for who we were becoming, and a turning point that led us right to here, right now. To share that chapter what that chapter looked like from someone who grew up in it, I'm honored to hand this off to Dan Gelptuk.
Thanks, Lenny. Wow, it's an incredible group of people connecting so many parts of my life. I'm Dan Gelptuk. I'm so grateful to be here. HBT has been a vital part of my growth, and I'm honored to share a piece of that story tonight. My parents, front row here, Madeline Brunitsky and Sam Gelptuk, were part of the founding group of the West Roxbury Havurah, a circle of families who sought a participatory Jewish life. They joined HBT in 1986, and together with longtime members, helped revitalize this beautiful congregation. I celebrated my bar mitzvah here in 1993, right on the Bima, the first at HBT in at least 15 years. I think it was longer. And I was on the front cover of the Boston Globe City edition. And my mom definitely still has copies, so if you're interested. Just as a new era of leadership and renewal was beginning. In 1994, the congregation launched a rabbinic search. Co-chaired by Laurie Rotman and Ruth Letterman, it led to Rabbi Barbara Penzner's arrival in 1995. Yeah. From her first sermon, she set a bold tone. LGBTQ plus Jews were not just welcomed, but embraced. That moment sparked the inclusive, justice-rooted HBT we know today, shaped by Rabbi Barbara's leadership and sustained by both vision and the will to carry it forward. Legacy gifts from members like the Sha'ir and Naf families helped bring that vision to life. For me, it was also the start of a personal journey. Rabbi Barbara has been a mentor ever since coming here in 1995 when I was 15 years old. I'm almost 45. Guiding my path toward Jewish values and towards a life full of justice work. To share the next chapter in this congregation, I'm really honored to hand it off to Naomi Bethune. Welcome, Naomi.
I'm Naomi Bethune. I've been a part of the HBT community since I was 6 years old, growing up in the Havarim school and in a multiracial Jewish family that found a deep sense of belonging here. My mom, Raquel Rosenblatt, served as president during the pandemic, while my dad, Leon Bethune, worked in public health and served on the Bitachon committee, reminding us all of how much community matters. By the late 2000s, the Havarim School had become the beating heart of HBT. With what began as a handful of students had blossomed into a spirited learning community of over 90 children. Families filled the building for Shabbat songs, holiday celebrations, Purim parades, and Passover storytelling. But the school was more than a program. It reflected the evolving spirit of our community. As families like mine joined HBT, bringing diverse backgrounds and perspectives, we didn't just adapt, we grew together. The lived experience of families like mine helped expand our curriculum, reshape the images on our walls, and reimagine Jewish education through a more inclusive and justice-minded lens. Today, as a writer, activist, and college student, deeply engaged in public policy and social justice, I carry those values forward. For me, the seeds planted at Havarim grew into a lifelong commitment to Tikkun Olam and helped shape the next chapter at HBT. That commitment to Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, has remained at the heart of our community. To share how that spirit has continued through leadership, justice, and legacy, here's Karen Samet.
Hi, I'm Karen Samet. I joined Hillel B'nai Torah in 2004. As a Boston resident with a young child of color, I was looking for a Jewish community, is that better? Rooted in inclusivity, compassion for the marginalized, and social justice. One where our little family of two would be embraced by spiritual traditions and meaningful practice. For 3 decades, Rabbi Barbara Penzner guided HBT with strength and heart. In 2005, we officially joined the Reconstructionist movement, affirming who we were becoming, a synagogue rooted in tradition and open to transformation. We built lasting partnerships with interfaith, immigrant justice, labor, and advocacy organizations. To name a few, GBIO, Jewish Labor Committee, and Bijan. But our transformation wasn't just outward. Lay leadership flourished. HBT's identity deepened, shaped by the voices and lived experiences of Jews of color, LGBTQ plus Jews, interfaith and multiracial families, and members across generations. The pursuit of Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, became a spiritual practice. Justice work wove itself into congregational life, from our annual Human Rights Shabbat to encouraging youth leadership and activism. By the 2010s, spiritual life and social action had become inseparable, and all of that helped turn the page to our next chapter, one that is already being written. And now, from legacy to the present, we turn to Ephraim Cronenberg, a student, teen member of the HBT board, and a madrich at the Havarim School.
Hello, I'm Ephraim Cronenberg, and I've grown up here at Havarim School, in Shabbat services, at Purim parades, and Hanukkah celebrations. HBT is where I found a sense of belonging, learned what it meant to be part of a Jewish community, and saw what leadership looks like. Now, being part of that leadership as a teen board member and a madrich in the Havarim School, it really feels like I'm continuing everything I've learned here and getting the chance to guide others the way I was guided. In 2023, while preparing for our next chapter, our interim rabbi, Sarah Noyowitz, brought warmth, music, and care to all our community. And then, in 2024, we joyfully welcomed Rabbi Aliza Schwartz as our new rabbi. She brings energy to learning and music and just has a way of making people feel like they belong. She doesn't stand apart, she stands with us. Whether it's in a circle of chairs or singing side by side, she brings us into learning, connection, and joy together. She's helping shape what comes next to HBT, right alongside of all of us. Wherever life takes me, college, career, new adventures, I'll carry the lessons I've learned here about community, compassion, and commitment. I've learned it takes all three to build something that lasts. People who give what they can, people who step up to lead, and people who show up to pray, to learn, to celebrate, and to build. Just like our ancestors who built the Mishkan with their hearts, their hands, and their spirit, we help carry HBT's future forward. That's what brought us here, and it's what will carry us forward together. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Ephraim, for that. And kol hakavod to all the speakers. That was wonderful, if I say so myself. It really brought the journey of HBT to life, the story. But now, v'samachta, you shall rejoice. And as we shift from reflection to celebration, we all will rejoice for this moment as we continue with the installation of Rabbi Aliza Schwartz. And what a better way to celebrate that than by welcoming our beloved Rabbi Emerita, Rabbi Barbara Penzner. And we invite her to the bima with a song from our special guest musicians, Molly Bajgot, Anat Hochberg, and Avra Shapiro. Take it away. Rabbi?
In all the lead up to today, I had the sense that there was a wedding that was happening. I don't know why there's no chuppah here. And in truth, bringing together a congregation and a new rabbi is very much a shidduch, a match, and this is a good match. And I can't think of a more worthy and appropriate misaderet kedushin, the officiant for this wedding, than my dear friend and colleague, Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum. So you all know I'm a devoted Reconstructionist, so I will say, first of all, that Sharon is one of the Reconstructionist movement's most esteemed rabbi, aside from everything else in the world she does. She is a beacon of profound teaching, compassionate pastoral care, successful community building, and passionate activism. She and I have been friends, admiring and supporting each other's work from the time we were in rabbinical school. We traveled together to Leningrad and Moscow and Kiev, and we met up again to get arrested in the Senate Rotunda on behalf of the Dreamers. And again, that same year, 2018, when we were in Memphis for the 50th anniversary of the Martin Luther King I Am a Man March, and we were together with Randy, beloved, at the Labor Seder, the National Labor Seder that we led there. I want to say now in a bigger context that when Rabbi Kleinbaum arrived at Congregation Beit Simchat Torah in 1992, fresh out of rabbinical school, to become that congregation's very first rabbi, it was clear to everyone that she would eventually become one of the most influential rabbis in New York City and I must say in all of the country. And I'm supposed to be giving you her bio and introducing her, and I will just tell you, Google New York Times, Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum. So now that she is Senior Rabbi Emerita of CBST, one of her great legacies there is the Cooperberg Ritmaster Rabbinical Internship, a program that she founded, and the part of that legacy is more than 50 interns who she has mentored, who now serve congregations throughout North America, Europe, and Israel. Many of you are here tonight as well, among the many rabbis who have come to honor us. I am eminently grateful, personally, that in your final year before your so-called retirement, that you, Sharon, passed on your skills and your wisdom to our own Rabbi Aliza Schwartz. We are so honored to invite Rabbi Sharon Kleinbaum to speak from this bima.
Well, it's an incredible honor to be here, and I say this on so many different levels. First of all, Barbara Penzner and I were in rabbinical school at the same time, and we have stepped down from our pulpits in similar time zone. And for us to be here together today, to honor this magnificent community which you so beautifully nourished and shepherded and carried along into this new generation, it's so moving for me to see what you have created here. And I say, as somebody who understands what real leadership is about, any success that anybody sitting in this room, on the board, or in all the many committees, what you've done, it happens because you have a great rabbi. And that does not diminish what anybody does, it elevates it. And so to you, Barbara, look at this, what you have created. So I'd like to ask anybody who served on the search committee that resulted in tonight's celebration to please stand so we can honor you. I spent a long time talking to, I think you and I had those long conversations about Aliza. And part of what makes this such a profound and moving moment is that it doesn't just mark the passing of the baton, so to speak. That's a piece of it. We're marking history, present, and future. But we're marking the miraculous ways that leadership impacts all of us. Great leadership helps us all become more of who we are to be. Great leadership creates space for every person to become the person they were meant to be. And we're here to mark what it is to have authentic and profound and excellent leadership. I won't compare this to what's happening elsewhere in the world right now, but I will say this, that there is nothing more important than creating an ark that can carry a community through the floods of the transition times of pain and anguish and fear and anxiety, and in building an ark to carry us through difficult times. We need leaders, we need doers, we need contributors, we need schleppers, we need everybody. And you as a community, you know because you've had her for these months. You have now at the helm of your ark somebody who is going to help you each become the person you need to be in order to help this ark carry us through difficult times. I don't need to tell you that. This is not the very beginning or the first time you're meeting her. But I'm here to tell you a few things about what I think about the relationship between congregation and rabbi. And as Rabbi Barbara mentioned, I stepped down this year after 32 at CBST. And in my final 2 years, I had the incredible good fortune, and I say this to anybody here who is in a position of mentoring or teaching or parenting or in any of those kinds of roles, of helping a young person emerge into their next chapter. And I, along with Rabbi Yael Werber, who's here today, helped to watch, to shape, to support, and really just to give a platform to Rabbi Aliza Schwartz to become the person that you are able to learn from today. Nothing could be more meaningful to me, right? I mean, think of what this is like for me. At the end of my time as senior rabbi, I get to help launch a human being like Aliza Schwartz into the future. How could I not feel hopeful and optimistic and full of joy about the possibilities of what the future holds? And this, you give me great pleasure. Of course, Rabbi Yael Werber is here today and will join me in a moment because Yael Werber represents this marvelous links in the chain which we all are on some level. She was an intern 2 years before and then became our assistant rabbi, and she then helped pass the knowledge and wisdom she had in ways that I couldn't pass to Aliza Schwartz. Part of the power of what we're doing today is to acknowledge that nobody can do any of this alone. There is no concept in Judaism that says we can emerge and become the role, the person that we are to be. We know famously in the story of Purim that Mordechai says to Esther, who quakes and resists becoming the person she must be, she says, "No, not me." When Mordechai says to Esther, "You have a job to do right now in the universe." And Esther resists and says, "Not me. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. I don't have a good enough Jewish background. I can't sing. I didn't go to college." All of the things. I'm not really an authentic Jew. What do I know? How could I represent the Jewish people? Mordechai said to her something very simple, which today I say to you, Aliza Schwartz. Maybe it is for this moment you were born. Maybe it is for this time God created you. And if you are here right now in this moment, you're meant to be here, and you have a purpose and a meaning to your life. And this holy congregation is going to help reveal, uncover, let all of that purpose and meaning emerge. You know, this is about a relationship, and there are a few people I've known and I have mentored, as Rabbi Barbara Penzner said, dozens and dozens and dozens of interns. I know rabbinical students almost like I can sniff them out of a crowd. I can tell you everything about them the minute they walk into an interview. There are only a few who have the combination of intellect and heart, that have the combination of the ability to analyze and think through difficult, strategically required kinds of thinking, and also has a heart and a compassionate soul the size of Aliza Schwartz. That combination, that is rare in any field, but let me talk about my own field. To combine both the ability to think through strategically, to analyze hard and complex situations, to not be afraid of complicated dynamics, and to do it with the kind of heart and soul that she has, is not a dime a dozen. You have a great leader who is now going to stand on the shoulders of a great leader. It doesn't get any better than that. History is important because history helps us know in which direction we're going to go and to not feel total terror and panic when the realities of this job become clear. And I pray that the two of you continue to work in great partnership together, that you continue to support Aliza, and Aliza continues to look to you for wisdom and history and knowledge and maybe some fun. We are approaching soon the holiday of Shavuot, where we celebrate another great woman named Ruth. And Ruth, in the story of Shavuot, is defined by two important characteristics, or midot, chesed and chen. Radical kindness, I would like to translate those words. Radical loyalty and deep integrity. I think those three traits describe your new rabbi. Radical kindness, radical loyalty, and profound integrity. Chesed. You, Aliza, know how to show up for people. You know how to show up in the middle of complicated, hard, and difficult moments. You know how to do it with empathy, with a depth of listening that's crazy. And ultimately, you bring an unwavering presence to everything that you do. You hold space for others. You invite collaboration. You listen deeply, and you make others feel at ease and welcome. You can hold multiple truths at once. You can live in a place of deep political beliefs, but never be dogmatic or harsh or severe. You welcome people into conversation and discussion, and you genuinely want to know what other people think. Let's pause there. She genuinely wants to know what other people think. That is just, in today's world, a completely rare and valuable personality characteristic. You don't lead only with your intellect or your skill, but with your heart and your soul. This relationship, which doesn't begin tonight, but as in all good Jewish practice, we create a ritual to pause in the everyday to acknowledge a moment of great holiness. That's what we're doing tonight. And you, as a congregation who have the wisdom to do it in the middle of celebrating your 55 years, understanding that it is the history on which you all stand that will catapult you into the future, which is unknown. So it's very moving to me, and I loved all of your presentations. And it helped me become a part of tonight in a deeper way. Now, our internship at CBST is famously difficult. We believe in dropping rabbinical students into the most difficult circumstances without anybody with them and just say, come back and let us know how it goes. There are few things you can show her that she hasn't seen already. But I urge you, looking out at you, beloved friends, colleagues you have here in Boston, family members who have traveled so far to be here, your Rabbi Emerita, be kind with each other in a time of cruelty. Be compassionate with each other in a time of empty words and harsh language. Learn to trust each other so that the ark that you are building together under the leadership of Aliza Schwartz will help guide you through these turbulent times. We know we have been in times of great difficulty before, but it is for this time, Aliza Schwartz, you have been born. It is for this moment God has created you. And I, as my career shifts into a very different phase, I look forward to seeing all the different ways you will emerge and express God's purpose for your life. And now I'd like to invite Rabbi Yael Werber, Rabbi Barbara Penzner, to have a ceremony in which we quite literally embrace the passing of the Torah from one generation of leader to the other. Not that one replaces the other, the two now become important in their own roles, but they become the interpreters of the Torah for all of us. So I'd like to invite both of you to join us. Please stand if you are able.
Aliza, in your interview to become a Cooper Bergerett Master Rabbinical Intern at CVST, you said your own thesis of Judaism was about collectivity, about being in the fight together. Over and over throughout your rabbinate, you have continued to take into account the whole of Jewish experience. You have a deep sensitivity to who is in the room and who is on the margins, and a unique ability to see everyone as you have continued to emphasize the question, how do we go from an us and them to a we?
Aliza, as you step more fully into the role of Rabbi of Temple Hillel B'nai Torah, we hope you will continue to be guided by a Judaism with love at the center. That you will lead with your ability to take multiple parts and make them whole, to see brokenness and know that it is not the end point, but an invitation to turn toward each other instead of away from each other. Aliza, you are meant to be the rabbi for this moment.
Our tradition teaches us, from Rav Abaye, at all times a person should associate themselves with the congregation and not pray alone, because our prayers are more powerful when they are collective. What is the prayer that is the proof text for this teaching? Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu shetolichenu leshalom. May it be your will, Adonai, our God, that you lead us in the ways of peace. Aliza, this is your Torah. We pray that you take on this role of leadership and holy authority and lead all of us to the ways of peace. May you greet your community with groundedness, with compassion, and with good humor. May your community greet you with groundedness, with compassion, and with good humor. May the light of Torah shine from deeply within you and reach those who most need its light. May God continue to be with you on your path towards leadership, and may it be God's will that you continue to grow in Torah, in health and strength, in wisdom and humility, in courage and in the love of all humanity, surrounded by family, friends, and community to help you on your way.
Amen.
Amen.
Yevarchech Adonai v'yishmerech. Ya'er panav elayich v'chunech. Yisa Adonai panav elayich v'yasem lach shalom.
May the Holy One bless you with wholeness and with light.
May the Holy One protect you and show you the ways of peace.
And may you be the way of peace. And let us say, Amen. Amen. As the ark is closed, you may sit down.
Stevens.
And I'm Jason Ehrenberg. As we mark our move from past to present to future, we find ourselves in a liminal transitional moment, like a Havdalah moment, symbolized by the light of these double flames, which we shall soon light. We know that together our paths forward will glow brightly.
Join us as 7 groups representing different aspects of HBT reflect on how our community sustains us, what Rabbi Aliza has brought to us in her first year, and what our hopes are for our future together. Jason and I are here proudly representing the HBT board.
And at this time, we'd like to invite all current members of the board and past presidents to stand with us.
Rabbi Aliza, we offer you this pasuk, this sacred text, as we rejoice with you at this threshold.
Ba'ein tachbulot yipol am, uchua rov yoetz.
Where there is no counsel, a people falls, but in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
As we have come to love the Hamish nature of HBT,
and have learned from you how to listen deeply to one another from our different perspectives,
may we together deepen our humility in word and in deed.
Yehudim, Hai Torah, Vesimcha, Vesason, Veikar. La Yehudim, Hai Torah, Vesimcha, Vesason, Veikar.
V'hotzi chaor tzidkecha u'mishpatecha ka'atzaharayim. Bring forth your righteousness to shine like the light, your justice like the noonday sun.
am Benita Block.
And I am Hillary Engler.
I'm Arna Guzman.
I am Laurie Spackman. And we are the staff at HBT. Rabbi Aliza, we offer you this pursuit, this sacred text, as we rejoice with you at this threshold.
Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, velo ata ben chorin, bat chorin, libatel mimena.
It is not your duty to complete the task, but neither are you free to desist from it.
As we have come to love the collaborative, non-hierarchical environment at HBT,
And have learned and benefited from your appreciation of relationships, your warm open-heartedness, and the joyful enthusiasm you bring to the rabbinate.
May we together deepen our awareness of each other's humanity and our ability to support one another in the ongoing holy work we share in word and deed. V'hotzi cha'or tzidkacha u'mishpatecha katzorayim.
Bring forth your righteousness to shine like the light, your justice like the noonday sun.
I'm John Wishney.
And I'm Lily Ritter.
We represent the Chavarim teachers, and we invite all the other Chavarim teachers and Madrachimot to stand up now.
Rabbi Hanina remarked, "I have learned much from my teachers, more from my colleagues, and the most from my students. Harbel lemadati meribotai, umchaverai yoter meribotai, umetalmidai yoter mikulam."
In the nearly a decade we have each taught at HBT, we have come to love Chavarim School's culture of building deep and long-lasting relationships, shared commitment to caring for each other, and fighting for justice.
Rabbi Aliza, the way you have interacted with us and supported us as teachers has served as a model for how we strive to teach our students.
May we deepen together our commitment to creating a joyful learning community which prioritizes relationships and holds complexity in word and in deed. V'chotze cha'or tzedkecha u'mishpatecha katzohorayim. Bring forth your righteousness to shine like the light, your justice like the noonday sun.
I am Sarah Bob.
I'm Rami Hayes Messinger.
And I'm Miriam Messinger.
And we represent HBT's Havarim School families. We invite everyone here who is or has been a Havarim parent or student to now stand with us.
Rabbi Aliza, we offer you this passage from the Shema that we recite daily as we rejoice with you at this threshold.
Veshinantam labanecha. You should teach these words to your children. As we have come to love the spirit and diversity of HBT and the Haverim School,
and have learned from you this year during what could be really turbulent times, your love for our community and your belief in humanity and justice.
May we together deepen our learning and work for collective well-being in word and deed.
V'hotzi chaor tzitecha u'mishpatecha chetzo harayim. Bring forth your righteousness to shine like the light, your justice like the noonday sun.
I'm Henry Barber.
I'm Ari Davidow.
And I'm Sherry Flashman, and we represent Torah and Justice at HBT. We invite everyone here who is on the Avra committee, reads Torah, or participates in HBT's Tikkun Olam to stand with us.
Rabbi Aliza, we offer you this pasuk, this passage from the Sim Shalom prayer from the Amida that we recite daily, as we rejoice with you at this threshold. Ki v'char panecha netata lanu Adonai Eloheinu tarachayim v'avat chesed u'tzedakah uv'racha v'rachman v'chayim v'shalom. By your light, wise one, you give us Torah of life and love of kindness, justice, blessing, mercy, life, and peace.
As we have come to love Hillel B'nai Torah's commitment to learning and social justice, and have learned from you, Rabbi Aliza, from your love of Torah, Judaism, community, and care for the world, may we together deepen our understanding and practice in word and deed how religious practice and social justice reflect and deepen each other.
V'chotzi kaor tzidkecha u'mishpatecha chetzo harayim. Bring forth your righteousness to shine like the light, your justice like the noonday sun.
I am Rich Moshe.
And I am Rachel Nenner-Payton. We are standing here representing the Havurah, the community. We invite members of all of HBT's many committees, both, that are instrumental in building our community to stand with us now. Please stand as your committee is called. Avodah, prayer and ritual.
Bitachon, security. The Havara Committee. Hesed, loving kindness. Finance. And fundraising. Stand up, people, stand up.
And there's more. Green space. Green space. Anybody for green space? Israel-Palestine planning. Lifelong learning. Membership. Operations. School. And Tikkun Olam, repairing the world.
Rabbi Aliza, as we rejoice with you at this threshold, we offer you this pasuk, this sacred text from the beginning of Parshat Nitzavim. He's doing all the Hebrew after this. At the end of Deuteronomy.
Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem. You stand this day, all of you, before your God Adonai, your tribal heads, your elders, and your officials, every householder in Israel, your children, your spouses, even the stranger within your camp, from wood chopper to water drawer. In this passage from Nitzavim, every individual in the community stood together as one to receive the covenant and to unite in community.
Rabbi Aliza, you embody the warmth of HBT. You help us to hold at once compassion for ourselves, our temple community, and all of humanity. You've helped create a Sukkot Shalom, a sukkah of peace that will nurture us in these harsh times. May you help us be united in community, respecting each person. May we together embody Hesed, loving kindness, in word and in deed.
V'hotzi, excuse me, cha'or tzidkecha u'mishpatecha ketzoharayim.
Bring forth your righteousness to shine like the light, your justice like the noonday sun.
I'm Laurie Rotman, and this is Mark Wilen, and we are standing here representing the entire HBT community. We invite all members of HBT to now stand with us. Rabbi Aliza, we offer you this pasuk, this sacred text, as we rejoice with you at this threshold. And this is from the Hashkivenu prayer, Ufras aleinu sukat shlomecha. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. As we have come to love the chesed, the acts of kindness and care of HBT, and have learned from you how to create a safe and inclusive congregation, may we together deepen our commitment to being in community with each other, all Kol Yisrael, all the Jewish people, the Kol Yoshvei Tevel, and all the world in word and in deed. V'hatzi ha'or tzidkecha u'mishpatecha kitzahoraim. Bring forth your righteousness to shine like the light, your justice like the noonday sun.
Put these Kleenex boxes down so they're not in the view of the Zoom screen. I am, usually when I write a Devar Torah for Saturday morning, I know exactly what's coming before it in the service because I'm leading it. And it's just quite another thing to speak after a ritual like that. So thank you all so much. I just want to say I would love a copy of those psukim, those verses, because I can't wait to take them in an even deeper way and take in what they mean for me in this moment and going forward. And Rabbi Kleinbaum, Rabbi Werber, thank you so much for coming, and thank you for your words. I'm just so moved by them and so honored that you're here and so happy to see you. And Rabbi Penzner, I just stand completely on your shoulders, and it's just such an honor to literally receive Torah from you. So thank you. Thank you so much. And Mark and Laurie, thank you for being incredible to work with, just in general. So much more to say. And just thank you to everybody who has participated, spoke in this amazing ceremony so far. Mali, Anat, and Avra, thank you for your song. We're so blessed by it. So when our past president, Raquel Rosenblatt, called me one evening a year and a couple months ago to offer me the role of rabbi at HBT, I was truly overcome with gratitude and excitement. I was at a friend's house at the time for dinner, at the dinner table, and I got a call from a Boston number, and I had this feeling that I should answer it. It was 8:30 p.m. or something, right after a board meeting. And so I left the dinner table for a moment, and I answered it, and I got the news, and I was just so happy. Why? Because from the minute I stepped foot in here, I got a sense of who HBT is. First of all, a family, a community that includes some people who've known each other forever, truly forever, and who have gone through it all together, and that includes brand new people who are immediately, by every single person, welcomed in, so much so that those new people soon become the people doing the welcoming. I've seen that here, and it's truly special, and I'm completely honored to be a part of it. HBT is also a community that's committed to the world, a community that, led in so many ways over so many years by Rabbi Barbara Penzner and by so many people here in this room today, is committed to justice work, locally here in Boston and throughout the world, seeing justice work as inherent to what it means to be a Jew. We also teach our students in the Haverim school every Sunday and Wednesday, and they teach us through a justice lens as well. HBT is also a community that wrestles. I've been so incredibly moved by the wrestling of so many here ever since I've been here. And if you think that I'm thinking about you, I probably am. There's really a depth of thoughtfulness, self-reflection, willingness to grow and learn and shift, to challenge one's own beliefs, to play devil's advocate, to listen to someone else and be open to hearing their perspective. This is one of the most definitional, intrinsic parts of Rabbinic Judaism, and this community is devoted to doing it well. I see it in our Torah study, where we wrestle with a lot of big ideas, in Chavruta learning on Saturday mornings during many services, and I see it with the most controversial, painful, and hopeful issues of our time. HBT is also a community deeply engaged in the rhythms of Jewish time through Shabbat and holiday prayer and ritual. To the regulars who are here every single Saturday morning, and to those who come every few weeks or every few months, it's such a deep pleasure to dive in with you. I've joined a community as rabbi that is so powerful, integrous, and brilliant, and I truly could not be more grateful. Our official integration here at this installation of rabbi and community is a time when we think about who we will be together in the future. So what does it mean to discover who we will become? As we know, sometimes the most profound words come at the most crucial moments. So there's a story about the Hasidic master Reb Zusha, that when Reb Zusha was on his deathbed, he began crying uncontrollably, fearful and scared. His students tried really hard to comfort him. They asked him, "Reb Zusha, why are you crying? You are almost as wise as Moshe. You're almost as hospitable as Abraham. Certainly heaven will judge you favorably." And Reb Zusha answered his students, "I'm not worried of being asked, why were you not more like Moshe? God already has a Moshe. I'm not worried of being asked, why were you not more like Abraham? God already has an Abraham. I'm afraid of being asked, Zusha, why weren't you more like Zusha?" So Reb Zusha teaches us that in growth, in development, in becoming who we are as individuals, as an HBT community, as a Jewish community as a whole in the world, we are striving at the core for authenticity, for integrity, for self-alignment. To me, leadership and community leadership is a facilitative exercise to create environments, conditions, support, and spiritual sustenance and nourishment for every single person to be able to come more into alignment with themselves, into more authenticity. When this happens, when everyone is able to show up as fully themselves, with each of our unique vulnerabilities and challenges held and supported, with each of our unique strengths glistening, we're each able to bring holiness into a space. And then we as a whole community can embody that holiness. This, in fact, is what religious community is for. This is what synagogue community is for. In the best of times, and also, and maybe especially, in the worst, most terrifying of times. When we're in integrity with ourselves, we won't all agree with one another, and that's good. When each of us is connected to our own divine spark, our own integrity, and what it means for us to live in alignment, we play our role in completing a puzzle in which all of us are necessary. Zusha was not Moshe. Zusha was not Abraham. Zusha was Zusha. Same for each of us, and same for HBT. Spiritual community should offer the tools for that type of becoming. Through connection with something larger than ourselves, through deep Torah learning,
through full, loud musical prayer with harmonies and deep davening, through wrestling, Am Yisrael. The Hebrew literally means a people who wrestle. Wrestling, a tool for resilience from our tradition to cultivate questioning, curiosity, and becoming. Through these tools and through togetherness and support of one another so that we're not alone, we get at authenticity. And by the way, we're not living at an easy time to do this. The threats to this from the outside are larger than ever. For perhaps the most core example, something that should be the most obvious in the world, for humans to stay human, seems to me to be not obvious at this time at all. Our very humanity is being challenged by the outside world. Our very ability to stay human and to remember that others are human is being challenged. But our texts and our moral compasses remind us otherwise. Tonight is Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the Omer, the period of time where we're counting the days from Pesach to Shavuot. We're counting until Shavuot when we receive Torah. And customarily during these weeks, many study the chapters of Pirkei Avot, a series of life lessons and ethical statements from our ancestors. Why study them now? Because the commentators say that ethical conduct is a prerequisite to Torah. In Pirkei Avot 2:6, we read, "In a place where there is no humanity, strive to be human." In a place where there is no humanity, she'ein anashim, where there are no people, no humanity, strive to be a human. We have to stick with humanity with authenticity. And Jews are being put in a particularly confusing and tricky position today. As we see the literal dismantling of democratic norms right before our eyes in our country, we also see that Jews, our own community, are being used as a part of that. HBT is already and will be a Jewish community that does not stand by as this happens. We will stick with integrity. We'll say no to that, absolutely not, and we will together build a Judaism that speaks loudly against anti-Semitism, loudly against Islamophobia, loudly against racism, and loudly against any system of dehumanization that works to separate humans from one another. And if we can do this, if we can lead with integrity from the inside out, we can be a model, among other models, for more and more communities to do this as well. We, along with so many others, can build this kind of vibrant Judaism, the kind of Judaism we're all proud of, that shows up with an enormous amount of integrity in the world, and that can hold us all in community as we are our full selves, crying, screaming, singing, and playing together. HBT, I'm so deeply honored and grateful to be your rabbi, and I'm so honored by this whole ceremony today. Erev Tov, I hope everyone has an incredible Lag BaOmer, and I can't wait to continue learning, growing, and celebrating with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rabbi Aliza, for those deeply touching and immensely rousing words. We are nearly at the end of this part of the ceremony, of the installation ceremony. First, I would like to invite 5 Local Rabbis, to welcome Rabbi Aliza to the Boston community and lead us all in a blessing. I'd like to welcome Rabbi Tova Spitzer of Congregation Dorchei Tzedek, Rabbi Leora Abelson of Nahar Shalom, Margie Klein, Executive Director of ECHO, Mimi Michner, Rabbi of Temple Beth Torah, and Rebecca Zimmerman Hornstein, Executive Director of the Boston Workers Circle. Before I turn it over to our wonderful local rabbis, I would like to provide a little bit of instructions of what will follow, so that at the conclusion of the installation ceremony here in the sanctuary, everyone is able to exit in an orderly transition to the celebration downstairs and make it to the dance floor in the Knopf Social Hall. Immediately after this communal blessing, the musicians will lead us in a celebratory singing of Siman Tov Mazel Tov. You'll have the words in the to dance in place, but do remain at your seat during the song and allow Rabbi Aliza and her family and other rabbis to exit the sanctuary and head downstairs to the social hall where they will greet us, everyone. So we ask everyone to please introduce yourselves as we mingle, nosh, and dance together downstairs. Thank you all for being with us in our time of joy. Now I will invite Rabbi Tova and Rabbi Leora to lead us in a communal blessing in honor of Rabbi Aliza's installation.
All right. We're not really leading you, we're doing a blessing. But at the end, you will be invited. Come close. Come close. All right. So, Aliza, this blessing is woven together from words shared by all of those who are up here, with special thanks to Rabbis Mimi, Margie, and Rebecca. I'm going to ask the other clergy in the room to just sort of silently beam your own blessings up here. Aliza wanted to give every rabbi and clergy person here a chance, and I said we'd be here until the next rabbi is installed. So. It's a collective effort. Rabbi Aliza Schwartz, just as you weave community at Hillel B'nai Torah, so may you be please know that we are here ready to support you and to learn from you. Take to heart the words of advice that Yitro, Moshe's father-in-law, said to him, do not lead alone. This task of leading is too heavy to do on your own. Just as you invite your community into connected and sacred care, so may you flourish in being held by us, your community of colleagues. When you feel overwhelmed with all the work to do, may you remember that you already have what matters most, your passion for justice, your excitement to hear multiple perspectives, your genuine curiosity and care for every person you meet, your enthusiasm for Jewish community. And in those moments when the mundane of our work exhausts you, may you find your way back to your sacred mission, to the power and importance of the work that is yours to do in this world.
Rabbi Nachman taught, everything that is born in this world, all the blessings that flow into it, everything comes about through trust. Aliza, may your time at Hillel B'nai Torah be marked by trust and cultivating trust. May you trust your path, the path that led you right here to this beautiful community. May you trust that here you will grow in exactly the ways you need to grow right now, even and especially when that growth is challenging or uncomfortable. May you trust that you are able to support this community to grow in exactly the way it needs to grow right now, even and especially when that growth is challenging or uncomfortable. May you trust your friends and colleagues who are here to support you and be a hand at your back. Most importantly, may you know that you can trust yourself. May you always trust your own instincts and stay connected to yourself. May you trust in and believe in all of the many gifts you uniquely have to offer. Your thoughtfulness, your ability to make those around you feel truly seen and cared for, your vision, your talent for creating vibrant Jewish community. May this trust guide you, ground you, and support you. We are blessed to have you as a colleague, to learn and grow from your deep moral clarity, from your love for every person in their fullness, your humor and humility, and your faith in who we can become.
Let us say.
Amen. So to close this beautiful ceremony, this beautiful time together, we invite you to join us in singing Shehecheyanu, a blessing of thanksgiving for reaching this moment. We bless the source of life for enlivening us, for sustaining us, and bringing us to this time. And we sing this blessing for you, Aliza. We sing this blessing for the Hillel B'nai Torah community as you celebrate your strength and your joy and as you look to your future together. And we sing this as a blessing for everyone who will indeed be blessed by this partnership between Rabbi and community. So in a moment, Aliza's beloved and longtime mentor, Rabbi Margie Klein-Ronkin, will lead us in singing. But just before she does, I invite you to join me in a moment, sitting together, all of us quiet, so that you, Aliza, can have just a moment to really take in the support, the excitement, the care being offered to you, all of this blessing you've received today from mentors, from colleagues, from friends, from your community. Just a moment to really receive.
Please rise in body or spirit as you're able.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu vekimanu vehigiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehecheyanu vekimanu vehigiyanu lazman hazeh.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I think I'm done.
Mazel tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel tov, Mazel tov, Siman Tov. Shehecheyanu, Shehecheyanu, Ulecha Yisrael. Shehecheyanu, Ulecha
All Yoshvei Tevel, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yoshvei Tevel, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Siman Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Siman Tov, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yoshvei Tevel, Yehelanu, Yehelanu, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah,